I wonder if you could speak about when a person, like say yourself, tries to lead a good life in everything, tries to lead a good life.
Tries to lead a good life.
And I'm not wishing this on you, of course, but maybe you get an illness that you have a lot of pain with.
Mm-hmm.
How, if that is really uncomfortable, it's not pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
How does one deal with that? Because I know that there are monks that have died and suffered in terrible cancer pain. I can't think of the monk that I'm thinking of now.
Mm-hmm.
And they were wonderful teachers. And he died a very, very painful death.
Mm-hmm.
So could you speak on that, please?
So your question is how one would deal with that? Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's really a very important and interesting question for us because from the Buddhist teachings point of view, any negative circumstances that we face in our life, starting with the physical pain, all the way to mental disturbances, any obstacles we face in our life can actually be the greatest teacher for our path. And so therefore, from my understanding, and also from some of my observations, that many masters or students who have tried to live well, lead their life in a positive practices, can really take unfavorable circumstances onto the path. They can really be a great, actually, support, for your path, because then you know that you have to live with it. There's no other choice. Which is different from reflecting or theoretically trying to understand about suffering or pain or obscurations or obstacles. And here it is right there in front of us. It's interesting because we do a lot of analytical meditation and in Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And a lot of these analytical meditations are really beneficial for pain. When you have a strong pain, if you use analysis, scrutinize, mentally, and meditate upon this, and rest upon this, it really changes your flavor of pain. I don't mean the pain will disappear, but the flavor changes. Your view changes. When your view changes, your mind is freed from that pain. And so therefore, really analytical meditation makes a big difference here. And a few years ago, I had attended a panel discussion with a materialist scientist and a phenomenologist. And we had a lot of discussions and panel discussions and outside and lunchtime. And this materialist is very interesting because he does a lot of analytical meditation. And he said, especially on pain. I was surprised to hear from him that when he did analytical meditation on pain, he said it really disappears. And not only himself, but he said he also tried that on his little girl. I think he told me she was like 9 years old or something, and her finger got caught between the car doors, and she was like screaming and like having so much pain. And then he was telling her to look, I don't remember exactly what exercise he taught her, but he was giving her simple analytical meditation exercise. And he said it really stopped her from crying in the car. So from materialist to Buddhist, we share this experience of analytical meditation. And so that's one thing that benefits. And the other thing is, a lot of mental exercise of compassion that we use. Like when we experience pain, then we make the aspiration to take all the pains in the world onto your own pain and be all other beings free from such pain. And so on, such mental exercise and practices makes our pain meaningful. And there's like a mission, there's a benefit. And so there are different levels with which they deal with it. And I've seen accomplished masters, one of my masters who had difficult health problems. And in normal case, he was supposed to have a lot of pain. But when I was attending him, we had to move his legs and stuff like that, and he had displayed the image that he is going through pain. And then suddenly, when we were talking about something else, we were talking about different stories of great masters or something like that, and whatever we were discussing about, he was moving his legs freely. There was no signs of pain or immobility. He was freely moving his legs and arms and everything. And then we also forgot because we were so engaged in the topic of discussion. And suddenly we realized, oh, he's moving. And then we tell him, you don't have any pain. That's great. Then he freezes right there and says, oh, no, I can't move. And so we are back to square one. We have to move him around and stuff like that. And then later we learn not to tell him that so that he can just move freely and we don't have to do our jobs. And so therefore, there are some masters like that I've witnessed that they don't really have actually any pain, but they display such thing perhaps to teach me or teach the persons in the room something, some lesson. But so I can't really speak for them, but that's how, what I've witnessed from outside.